Okay, good morning, everybody. Okay. Welcome to everybody that is joining us this morning. Feel free to comment and let me know where you're from, and I will start my morning with coffee for sure. I don't know about you, but it's 8 a.m. here in New Zealand, so I'm going to grab a coffee first. Quinn, would you be able to go grab me a coffee, love? Just a moment. Thank you. Hey? You filming a video? Yeah, I am. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're first going to plan out kind of my standard week and how that goes, and kind of how I go into the process of planning out my standard week as well. So I'm going to get my camera on from this side. And we'll get started. So the things that I need to plan out for this week is I need to be able to, oh, thank you, honey. I need to be able to fit in work. I need to be able to fit in a variety of things. Let's turn that camera around. And allow into studio. It's going to be a little feedback while I All right. Ooh. A little bit of feedback. Oops, there we go. And let's turn the camera around. I don't think we can. There we go. Did that work? Yes, that worked. All right. There we go. All right, easy peasy. Okay, so things we're planning out today. We need to plan out my study. We need to plan out my work week. We need to plan out Quinn's week. And this week I'm going to do time blocking. So I need to work out which of those is going to be time blocked. I've got some projects due this week as well. Some personal errands. Let's have a look at what else we're planning out this week. There are, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. There's a couple of other things as well. So let's have a look. I think there's a school function on. There are some creative things I want to do as well. And then obviously self-care and how to manage self-care. So this week I'm going to be using my Happy Planner. And we are going to hop straight into November for that. I mean, sorry, October. I don't even know what day of the week it is. And I'm going to plan out this week because it's a very, very, very busy week this week. Okay. Let's do this. All right, everybody able to see okay? Just let me know if you are struggling to see. And we're going to kind of start planning this out. I'm going to be time blocking. So I'm going to be using highlighters to time block. And let's pick some colors. So we're going to say Quinn is blue. And it's back to school this week. All right, Quinn. Work is red. And feel free to ask any questions or pop any questions in the comments. Don't be shy. All right. Study is going to be purple. And then finally, we'll have green for personal. Oh, and we need projects as well. Projects, and let's go with a nice pink for personal. Okay. All right, let's get cracking. Okay, I've always got a meeting here for work. So we'll use our bright red one. I've always got a meeting at this time on a Wednesday, all the way through to 11. So the most important things are to put in the work meetings, and I always have a meeting here as well. All right, now that we've got the two core bits in there, let's put in Quinn's core bits because his are second on my priority list. I never try to miss those, but I'm going to kind of put, when I put his in, I'm going to put them a little bit thinner so that way I can add things that I can do around that time as well. So hopefully that works out a bit. Okay, so we know every Tuesday we're at Taekwondo. And every Thursday we're at Taekwondo. And over here, and over here, is homework club. All right, then we know Quinn has a play date over here. Okay, those are the basics. All right, so Quinn is pretty much done and dusted. Right, let's go through our study bits so that way we know how much time we've got available to us to study. All right, next up, I'm going to pop study over here. I'm going to pop some study over here. And let's have a look over here. Thursdays are really busy, so that's not going to happen. And I'm going to pop some study down here. Okay. All right. The weekend as well, we're going to pop sequins at that play date. So I'm going to include study over here. All right. And Sunday I want to leave pretty free because that would be silly of me. Projects though, we need to film a plan with me this month, and that'll take up my Saturday afternoon. All right, now let's go back and do projects. All right, we have got this spot here. And let's add for next week. I mean, not next week, the end of the week. And we've got project here. Hello, Amy. All right, what's next up? Okay. Where's everybody from that is joining us today? Curious to know. All right, so we've popped in study, we've popped in work. We haven't popped in all the bits for work yet, and personal. And then I also want to make sure we have one maybe for, let's use a yellow for Instagram. And let's go Instagram, FB, YouTube, USA. Oh, fun. I am heading to the USA in December. That's going to be a cracker, hopefully. All right, let's get back to that. So personal time. I'm going to pop in personal time here while Quinn is at TKD. And, ooh, Salem. That's cool. And then I'm going to pop in some personal time here too because that is Taekwondo time. So he's doing Taekwondo, which means I can have some personal time there. Great. All right. Are there any other spots that I can slot in some personal time? Mondays are usually pretty busy. This can be self-care time. And Friday night is always takeaways and movies. Okay. All right. Okay, now let's start filling in the work things. So work, this is going to be admin time. And I'm going to have to pick, that's a Wednesday, so I pick, nope, so that's going to be work time as well. Okay, so Thursdays are usually my busiest days with regards to work. That's why Quinn is in the homework club. Okay, Fridays. Admin and projects and strategy. Now, oh, are you okay? That doesn't sound good. What happened?
And I was using a cup holder.
So have they spilt everywhere?
Only yours spout.
But like, did it spill everywhere? Do you need the towel? Maybe grab the towel that we used last night for the other spill. Do you want me to have a look? Hold on. Let's all go have a look at what has unfolded on. Oh no! Hold on. Let's all have a look. What's happened? Okay. Oh shit! Is there still coffee in the cup?
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, well that's all that's important. Oh no! Oh no! Oh shoot! That's okay. It happens, buddy. Just get a towel and tidy it up. It's all good. Are you okay though? Oh, good. Okay. Hey, what?
I'm happy today. You want to know why?
I would love to know why you're happy today.
Because I've just gotten to a good part of my TV show.
Oh, okay. Just got into a good part of your TV show. Love this. What is the name of the Facebook group? It is, I think it's My Inner Creative with watercolor and planning and journaling. Oh boy. Oh, why does this keep locking? Oh, because I've got it on lock because I'm a silly sausage. Hold on. Oh geez. What a show.
Thanks,
All right. Let's turn the camera around. Okay. There we go. Okay. There might be some reverb now. I'm just going to switch the mic for now. All right. Okay. Well, at least I got half a coffee. Oh dear. There we go. Entertainment for today. All right, back to planning. We're totally been distracted by the coffee falling down the stairs. I'm going to need another coffee. All right, back to Monday. Monday is also a little bit busy, so we're going to pop in here. I'm going to have reels and scheduling. Okay, I'm going to turn this one off for a second. Now you should be able to see that as the center at the center. All right. And then always on a Thursday as well, just before I go in. Reels and scheduling, reels and scheduling, reels and scheduling. Reels and schedule. All right. Such entertainment for today. Goodness me. All right. I just realized that I forgot to pop study in here as well. Study. Now I have got a personal errand to run over here. I've just got a doctor's appointment. So I want to make sure that we've got that in there as well. Okay, this here is now going to be left for work meetings. This is starting to come together nicely. Now we can see where we've got gaps in time. And we don't fill up, I don't usually fill up everything. I try to kind of manage everything around that. But I do want to pop in over here. Editing, video edit, and blogs. Because Saturday is usually my filming day, like it is this morning. I realize that it's Friday where you are, but it is Saturday morning here with me. Okay. Now, if you have just joined us, sorry, there is a bit of reverb from the phone, but you're doing a bit of a plan with me this morning, and you're going to study with me as well, because I'm doing a Masters of Law this semester. And I just got a coffee that got spilled all over the staircase. Womp womp. But that's okay. There's still half a coffee left, so I'll take what I can get. Whoops. Okay. So now we've got those pretty much set up. I feel pretty confident that that is going to take up quite a bit of my time this week. There we go. There's like the whole spread together. Very confusing with the phone. All right. Because usually I don't go live. Usually I film and then edit. So filming live with the phone is a little bit confusing, but that's okay. All right, so we've got the plan. Now, I am going to move us downstairs, and we are going to start studying, which is going to be a whole nother experience. So as we move downstairs, we are going to head into the study zone, because upstairs is nice and quiet for a coffee, whereas downstairs is more about how I get my study going. If I started downstairs, I would be straight into studying, which is not good for anybody. So packing up all of my little pens and accessories, grabbing my glasses because we need those to study. Hashtag getting old. And today's question and the things we're going to print out today are all about international contract law. Fun. Hey, Quinn, could you bring my stand along with you downstairs? Thank you. Oh, there's a big coffee puddle on the stairs. Whoops. My bad. Thank you, lovey. Yes, also Quinn. All right, welcome to my study area and office. I did echo a bit, didn't it? Thank you, love.
Can I try?
What?
The echo?
No.
Aww.
Oh, okay, you can do one echo. Echo. Entertaining kids for the morning. Okay, I've got my calendar downstairs, filming area, crafts and accessories, and then my study area, which is now in front of me. And I've plugged in my laptop with my dual screens. So I'm going to show you what our project is for today and get started. And again, feel free to ask any questions as we go. Oh, now I've got like a double vision in vision. There we go. So our question that we're asking today is guided research paper. What is instructions? Today's question is, one great principle of English law is to make business for itself. Okay. Discuss whether the quote holds true today in regards to law at play in international commercial contracts. That's confusing. You can take either an overarching approach or discuss the quote in relation to a particular aspect of the law applicable to international commercial contracts. Great. LLM students, in addition to the sources which are part of the class material, which were very difficult to read, include between 15 and 20 new sources in your answer? Ah, crap. Okay, new sources which are not part of the course materials or announcements. Sources included in the case law and secondary material, but not legislation. Okay, great. One great principle of English law is to make business for itself. Shoot. Okay. I welcome any suggestions on what that could even mean. Okay, let's have a look. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of rewrite the question as I understand it. All right. Let's go. One great principle of English law is to make business for itself. So we have English law. And it makes business for itself. One great principle of English law is to make business for itself. So I wonder if that then means we are okay. Whether this quote holds true today. So what does the quote mean to me? Okay, so I think the more English law continues, the more it makes business. So it creates kind of a circular loop of creating business and no, maybe not. Oh, geez, I can't even read. I don't know. Okay. One great principle of English law is to make business for itself. Surely someone knows what this answer means. Okay, you know what? Let's Google it. Okay. Why is this not standing? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's have a look what we have here. We have law makes business for itself. Okay, one great principle. Here we go. Goodreads. All right. One great principle of English law is to make business for itself. There is no other principle distinctly, certainly, and consistently maintained through all its narrow turnings. This is making even less sense. Viewed by this light, one's clearly perceived a grand principle to make business for itself at their expense. And surely they will cease to grumble. Okay, so we're going to grab this and we are going to pop this into my studies section so that we can make sure that we have it all together. International law, research paper, And we're going to say new Google Doc. Great. And we're going to pop it in there. So Charles Dickens, the one great principle of English law is to make business for itself. There is no other principle distinctly, certainly, and consistently maintained through all its narrow turnings. Okay. Viewed by this light, it becomes a coherent scheme and not a monstrous maze. The laity are apt to think it. Let them but once clearly perceive that it is a grand principle is to make business for itself at its expense, and surely they will cease to grumble. Literally have no idea what that means. Did the quote here explain what this meant? No. Okay, what does, let's go with, what does law makes business for itself mean? No, not understanding consumer laws. Law is a profession and an industry. Okay, I can get behind that. So if we come back to the brainstorm here, law is a profession and an industry. All right, so how do I tie that back into something I'm interested in so that we can write a paper on this? All right, so if law is a profession and an industry, you've got lawmakers, so judges, case law, etc. But then you've also got an industry of selling law as a service and a byproduct. So if we think of that with, hold on, see, now it's coming together. Okay, so now if I'm thinking about this, and just let me go back to make sure there's no questions. Okay, if I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking about how I'm going to structure this paper, would it thus and therefore not be prevalent to me to say, okay, let's find something that I'm interested in? And what about all of those people that sell legal contracts for social media? Someone maybe like Brittany Rattel. Okay, so we could potentially look at her as an option for how, because she is a lawyer who sells contracts for things like affiliates or blog relationships or designer, etc., contracting arrangements, etc. Okay, all good. All right, so we could potentially say they're selling. Okay, now we could also do this. So that's one option. My other option is we can look at VA contracts and remote workers. Hybrid working. And so hybrid working, remote workers, and kind of the tax and visa implications of that. What else would come into VA contracts? I think this could be a good one over here. Maybe a combination of the two of them, because I do have to magically come up with 7,500 words of this stuff. So I feel like that was a really good start. So we've got law as a profession in an industry. So now if we have to break this up, all right, and I've got an incredibly boring law paper somewhere around here. So if we break this up, we've now got law as a profession and an industry. All right, so if we've got our intro, and conclusion. We know we've got 7,500 words to play with. Let me grab my calculator to work that out. So I would say conclusion can be 250 words. Intro is 250 words. That's already 7,000 words left. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 subtopics. All right. So the first 1,000 words are dedicated to explaining my definition of law as a profession and industry. So we're going to need some information and paper on law as a profession and industry. Then we're going to go into international law governing remote workers. Great. Okay, we're kind of getting somewhere. Okay. Next one is by a contract templates. Then we can do cases and issues. I have a feeling that this could probably be 2,000 words here. So let's call this 1,000 words. This could be 2,000 words. So that's already 3,000, 1,000, 1,000. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we need 6 and 7. So cases and issues. Practical steps for VA work and what to look for. Look for can be 1,000. Usually that can be done by the conclusion area. So we need one that kind of sits in here. And what could we make it? Explaining the law as a profession and industry. Yep. I have a feeling that this might actually be more words than I think it might be. So let's call it 500 here and 500 here. And there's my 700 words. All right. That's a good baseline. So how do I get started? Now we know that this is going to be quite a tricky kind of definition to define. So let's move this guy up over here again. And we are going to have a look. So we had this one here that said, what is business law? Law is a profession and industry. So there's a blog. Law is a profession and an industry. Why it should be regulated that way. Okay, so this is essentially giving some thought around law is a profession and an industry. Lawyers in the US, the world's largest legal market, regulate both. Regulation is the practice of law, and the business of law should be. That's a word I've never seen in my life. Why is law so hard? Bifurcated. Bifurcated? What does that even mean? Oh, it doesn't even tell me. Let lawyers regulate practice and independent business professionals oversee the industry. Conflation of the two is detrimental to the profession and the industry. That's an interesting thought. The profession and the industry. Okay, so this gives us a good insight into kind of why it's a profession and an industry. So we'll pop that into our little spreadsheet that we're starting. We're not going to reference that, but that's going to give me some good thinking or thinking notes because it's a law paper, not it's a law paper, not a we got to give actual references. So this is just more around how I can start seeing the changing role of lawyers. Okay, legal practice was once synonymous with legal delivery. Law was about legal expertise and nothing else. So lawyers were well suited to define and enforce practice standards. Great. The global financial crisis and market. Okay, yeah, cool. That's actually not the worst article I've read. So we've grabbed the link for that. Let's see what else we've got. Do businesses have more obligations than what is the law? Copyright protection in New Zealand? No. Role of the law, open repository, guiding principles on business and human rights, New Zealand's constitutional system. Nope, none of those mean anything to me. Okay. So that was law as a profession and industry. Okay. Law industry overview, law industry overview, a law, the law, business or profession. Okay, that's already a actual document, great, or an actual study. Law industry trends, occupation outlook, solicitor careers, joining the legal profession, no. All right, so what does this one say? The law, a business or profession. When was this published? What? 1908? Oh no, that's a little late. Oh no. That's always entertaining. Okay, so that one's a little old school, but on the upside though, it does mean Yale Law Journal. I feel like that's not bad. Okay, so 1908, they were already talking about this. So now we've got to kind of combine 1908 to 2022. Okay, well, we're definitely going to print this one. So we're going to go download. Let me grab my printer. And we're going to use this as my example of how we kind of print and review work. So let's print this guy out. And 2 pages per sheet because I like to save the trees. Not. Paper's recyclable, so it's all good. All right, and then let's head back over here, wait for it to print out. I know, I feel like there's hold music at this point. Okay, yay, it's printed. All right. Woo. Okay, let me get my highlighter out and let's have a look. Now, one of the things I learned super early in life was around how to speed read journal articles. And there's a little trick to it that I'm going to show you, which is very helpful to saving time. So what I usually do is I go through and I just check what the headings are first. This one, because it was written in 19 billion thousand years ago, not a lot of headings. Okay. So no headings to be able to kind of control, manage through. All right, once we read through, we speed read it again to see if there's any okay. And by speed read, I literally mean we speed read just to see if there's any clear alignment to the work that I'm doing or how I can relate it to it. So, not moral reformers, here we go. Okay. The commercial instinct of hideous is the lawyer who poses as a man in superior ideals. An interesting discussion here. Clients generally come first from one's personal business friends mixed together. Okay. And the young lawyer to put up a good appearance. Interesting. Real heroes of the profession. You will not look for them at the bench, nor necessarily. Then you hold up failures for us to emulate. Would you have... Nope. as for influence on public affairs, the people are beginning to understand that governmental problems are not alone for technical lawyers. The lawyer, out of touch with practical callings of men, is unfit to pass laws by which practical men must live. Okay. All right, it's carried out the profession, yada yada. He knows too that it is easier to fight one strong tyrant or usurper. Not give encouraging advice to this time. It was the father who spoke. No, my son, the judge believes that James C. Carter once said to me, no one should ever give encouraging advice to a young man about entering law coming into New York to practice it. No man is fitted to do either unless he, in spite of all the discouraging advice that can be given to him. Okay, great. Now that we've read through it and we've found a couple of key things, now we go a little bit more slowly and we see if there's anything in here that could tie them together really clearly. On that first glance, there was a couple of lines that I thought could be interesting. The average man has a habit of accepting without questions the popular and majority verdict on things he is not personally familiar. Okay. This is interesting because in 2022, this current time, that doesn't really stand true because we have cancel culture now. And then over here, popular and majority verdict on things, which he is not personally familiar. So now everything is so viral and so, so viral. And we've also got that hybrid working nature. Everything is so interlinked that it actually makes it really easy to do things without questioning around the majority and popular verdict. Lack of critical instinct is nowhere near more evident than in universal acceptation of the statement that the professional man is per se of finer clay than his lay brother. Interesting. That's a bit judgy. His lay brother might be really good at mechanics. How rude. When one sung, he's supposed to be oh, geez. Come on, 1908. Be kinder to people. Particularly among the members of the profession, is feeling superiority manifest. Okay. Law student was in attendance. Okay. Youth follow impulse before experience teaches him the reason. Okay. Power to be great and famous. Jeez, come on, 1908. What's happening here? His friends applaud his resolve. He's told the careers of great lawyers. Good for them. And the law student listened to the recital portion. Sketched various textbooks, but you did seem to admit your opponent's case. All right, so if I'm going to break this down a little bit more, and I'm kind of coming to the end of my time-blocked hour for today, this gives me some good thinking time for the rest of the week. Okay. The affairs of the heart, youth. Okay, so impulsively influence. What else have we got? So, just as the affairs of the heart, youth follow impulse before experience teaches him that reason and not impulse is the world's great force. So he enters law school with a little more than a powerful desire to be great and famous. So these lawmakers that haven't, it's like underexperienced lawmakers on an high expectation of what law will be. Okay, what's next? But you seem to admit your opponent's case, interrupted the youth with fine enthusiasm of one who defends a favorite conviction. Okay. The commercial instinct is all the most hideous in the lawyer who possesses the man's material ideals. Okay. Every year, a horde of young men are entering law far more intent on making money than living up to professional standards. Okay, so this kind of ties into that business law makes business for itself. Now, if we go back to my list of topics that I'm going to talk about, or list of things that I want to talk about here, I think one of the things that we could probably mention is rising cost of legal advice and fees, and how kind of this buyer contract thing reduces that. Okay. Okay. Again, nowadays, in 1908, work on the theory that his client is unsuccessful, his fee will be much less than if successful. So there is like there's a forced expectation to be successful. In older countries, men have some independent income as a rule of entering law. Okay, interesting. Under such circumstances, it can be practiced as a profession. $100 practice for the worth of living. They are foolish enough to think that the rules of industrial competition will operate against them in their fierce competition. This illusion is all too obvious to half the lawyers who appear before me fight each other with personalities and innuendos far more than with the real weapons of the law. Geez, that's pretty powerful. All the old courtesy and gentle deportment that once characterized the profession has gone. That could be true. But judge, you forget the contemporary names, yada, yada, yada. It is dangerous to argue from the general point of view. Okay. They backed him in a fight against the boss, something that becomes easier. The people of any country, if left absolutely untamed choice. All right, I've got 7 minutes to finish these 4 pages. All right. Instead, there is plenty law. And the old law, or to demand new laws where necessary. This is also a really powerful statement. Okay. I'm sorry to say it, but many of the smaller fry at the bar use much of the same methods, though on a smaller scale. They join this. Interesting. Okay. Now, this station dictates the spirit of companionship or fraternity. No idea how many lawyers have confessed to me their cynical objects when twittered about. Oh, did they have Twitter in 1908? Who knew? About being in queer places. Oh, jeez. That whole sentence is just a hot mess. It is the universal law of competition working havoc with their false pretenses about unselfish occupation and dignity. Okay, a young lawyer once complained to me that he had to work all day and all night. Interesting. But why take the strugglers? Why not go higher? Take the bench. Okay, last page. Okay. Interesting. All right, so that is my first research paper that we are going to have a look at. All right, let's switch this guy off. So you can see that, oh, that's still echoing. Sorry. All right, that should be better. All right, so you can see that it's a bit of a process. And now that I've got a kind of a baseline for what I'm going to do the research paper on, I've got a skeleton of what I'm going to write about. So I've got my skeleton that I'm going to use, and then I've got my my first paper that is going to give me some food for thought. I had that article that was really interesting about the industry as a profession and as, you know, and as an industry. And I think I'm going to dive quite deeply into that around remote work, hybrid working, and how that is now a full-scale industry around international contract law. So that is a good first session, a good first indication of where I'm going to land with that paper and how I'm going to keep researching that. So hopefully you enjoyed your time with me today and have a wonderful rest of your weekend.